Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Vishnu Pada Krishna Pasaya Bhutira Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamni. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravan Pracharne Nirvisesa Sunyavati Pasatya Satarini. Bhagavad Gita as it is. This is my first English class. Today we talk about the duty, human duty, God's given the duty, interaction, uh, rules and regulation to follow according to the God's guidance or God given. So we did little the rules and duty. Krishna talk about in the Gita through Arjuna. Little we talk about that. Cannot describe everything in half an hour. We try to explain in little things the short way. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 3, 31 or 32, 30 and 35 and other chapters also. So we start from the 31. Krishna said to Arjuna, one who executes his duty according to my injunction. Krishna said, execute the duty according my injunction, and who following is this teaching faithfully without envy, without enviness, become free from bondage of the fruitive activities. Here Krishna say, duty, how to perform the duty by his instruction or injunction with a firm and faith without envy. Many people envious of the gods. The demon mentality always against the God's law. We've seen so many sastras, Hiranyakasipu, Hiranyaksha, Kamsa, Ravana, Sisubala, many others who are not following, and many other followers, Arjuna, Uddhava, Pandavas, Sudama, many kings. So the different demon and human beings, demonic and divine. So Krishna explained directly here, why should you follow the God injunction? Comments. God given command to follow. Every scriptures, every religious, there's a God given order. Why not Hindus never God now given order? Nobody know, nobody reading, nobody mention. Everybody praying God, not following God. They don't know what the God said. Like they're worshipping Vinayaga, worshipping Amman, worshipping Muruga. They're praying, worshipping. Ask them what Vinayaga said, what Muruga said, what is Shiva Prabhu said, what Parvati said. We only worshipping God to get some benefits. We're not following any rules and regulation or the comments of the God. So here, God given telling that you should follow my injunction, that's your duty. So he explains there the injunction of the Supreme Personal of the Godhead, Krishna, in the essence of the all Vedic wisdom. We read Vedas, Puranas, this and that for what? Learn from the God's order. You see? Not simply just reading this and that for the fun. It's not novel. For the guidance, path. So yeah, Krishna gave one here. So this is the essence of the all Vedic wisdom. Therefore, is certainly true without exception. As the Vedas are eternal, Vedas are eternal. So the truth of Krishna consciousness is also eternal. Bhakti is eternal. Yoga is eternal. Bhakti yoga is eternal. Vedas is eternal. God gave one prescribed duty is eternal. There are many philosophers, many philosophers from 5,000 years. Krishna gave one after that. So many people gave one commentary about the Gita. But many Gita who write comments of the Bhagavad Gita but have no faith in Krishna. Just as we've seen so many others who give a commentary, translated the Gita, but never describe, never mention about the Krishna. For them, Krishna is nothing, or the representative of the Brahman. Krishna is not only man, human beings, avatar, this and that. But never accepted Krishna's words in the Gita. No firm faith in the Gita. Yes, I have seen my experience, many people I meet. So yeah, so they can community with faith in Krishna. They will never be liberated from bondage of the fruitive action. These people cannot liberate. But an ordinary man with a firm faith, ordinary man like us, ordinary, we not a yogi, we not avatar, we not a mahan, we not a sannyasi, we not a big guru, this and that. But we are the ordinary, the ordinary living beings. But firm and faith in the eternal injunction, firm faith, eternal injunction of the Lord. Even though unable to execute such an order, become liberated from the bondage of a law of karma. Even common man who are firm and faith in the God's order, he try to practice follow according to the injunction without expect. Even though such a people can liberate the law of karma, in the beginning, such a Krishna bhakti, one may not fully discharge the injunction of this Lord, but because one is not resentful of a principle, the work sincerely without consideration of a defeat and hopelessness, he will surely be promoted to the stage of a Krishna consciousness or pure bhakti. So, ordinary person can follow, but the philosopher, the so-called yogi and mahan, sannyasi, they're not following. But they think they are God. Themselves is a God. Why should I follow? I am the God, so I can decide what side to follow. But these people are yogis. There's a problem. So, other chapter 30, text 30, chapter 3, text 30. The Bhagavad Gita, the Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duty. Without Krishna Bhakti, without faith in Krishna, how can we discharge the duty? So we need to become a Krishna consciousness. As if in a military discipline, such injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duty must be carried out. In the military, commandant and soldiers need to practice the commands of the commander. These are rules in the military. Same thing. We are in the Krishna is a commander. We have to follow the commands of the commander. So, yeah, depend is related there. Now the duty must be carried out with the depend on Krishna because this is the constitutional position of the living entity. Evana Surubaya Nitya Krishna Dasa. This is a position of the living entity. Follow the injunction of the God is a position of the living entity. We know we are your subordinate, dependent on the God, not independent of the God. We are dependent on the God. God's a mercy. We are not a God, but the yogi, so-called yogi, jnani, sanis, this, we as a God. We become a God. So we become God, not follow the rules and regulation, follow the any constitution. No. This is our Svadharma. Jivani Surupa. Nitya Krishna Dasa. We always a servant of the Krishna. That's an injection of the scripture. So this is written here. This is a position, living entity. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of the Supreme Lord because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desire of the Lord. So we only follow the God desire. But we following our desire. What should I follow? God desire. Who is he? I follow my desire. What I think. I follow according to my desire. What should I follow? God desire. So we are becoming independent, non dependent. We don't subordinate the gods. We forget we are servant of the God. We are not a master of the God. God is a master. We are the only servant. Super soul and a soul. So Arjuna was therefore ordered by Krishna to fight as a Lord where he is a military commander. Krishna ordered to Arjuna to fight. Krishna order. You want fight like that. If you not fight, going like that. So Krishna explaining if you follow my order or you want follow according to your desire. So what going to happen if you follow your own desire? What's get benefit? What you follow my desire, my order. So one has to sacrifice everything for the good will of the Supreme Lord and the same time discharge prescribed duty without claiming proprietorship. Proprietorship. Proprietor. Owner is a problem. I am the owner. This is mine. I am the enjoyer. I am the God. I am the proprietorship. This is a problem. Arjuna did not have to consider the order of the Lord. He had to only to execute his order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of the all souls. Therefore, one who depend solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul without personal consideration, or in other words, one who fully Krishna consciousness is called Adhyatma Chedasa. Nirese mean that one has to act the order of the master. Not should one ever expect fruitive result. So this example they given here. So everyone according to his quality and position has a particular type of work. Everybody have own dharma, swadharma. Everybody's own dharma, following according to own dharma, own duty. What's your duty? You have to understand what is your duty to follow. Don't imitate the other people's duty. That's I said here. So, duty position. Everyone according to his quality and position has to particular type of work to discharge in a cell. All such duty may be discharged in Krishna consciousness, as I described above. That will lead to one to the path of liberation. You follow according to God's order, injunction, your own contribution, your own position, you get liberated from the bondage of karma. Otherwise, we entangled, bound by the karma, we take birth and death. This is a problem here. So, other verses, other places mentioned here, we follow the duty. They mentioned the 31 without envy. Many people have own envy of the gods. What should I follow? We envy, then means we try against envy of the God's order and envy of the God position. Like we envy of the boss. We are the workers. We always see boss, we are enemies. You are this boss. You are bigger. It's nature. So always the soul envious of the super soul. The servant of the master. If he becomes servant, he is not envious of the master. But the servant envious of the master, opposition. That's a problem. So, yeah, 32, they said, but those who out of envy, enviness, always envy of the gods, out of the envy, discredit their teaching, discredit this teaching, and do not practice them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, who not following, accepted, or not faith, bereft all knowledge, be fooled and doomed to ignorance of the bondage. So they give follow, not follow. Follow what's happened, liberate, or not follow bondage in the material, birth and death. So everybody according to the Krishna, the 33, man of knowledge act according his own nature. Everyone follow his own nature. What can repression accomplished? So here mentioned a little Krishna consciousness or Krishna Bhakti help one to get out of the material entanglement. Even though one may be engaged in his prescribed duty, therefore, without be fully Krishna consciousness, no one should suddenly give up his prescribed duty. Everybody had to follow your own duty. Don't give up the duty. So Krishna always described to Arjuna, do your duty. But what's a duty? Duty means you have to understand what's a duty. What's your prescribed duty? What's your dharma? What is your nature? There's so many duties were found by the duty. Yadi karma, swadharma, sanadana dharma. There are 26 dharma duties there mentioned in the scriptures. You have to know your own duty, your own dharma, your own position. So there's a mention here. You cannot give up suddenly your own position. You follow according to your dharma and prescribed to your bhakti. So you don't cannot because one become a religious person, give up all your own material duty and go to jungle and meditate. No, like that. So you mentioned here, cannot give up suddenly. They must step by steps. Not suddenly give up everything. So you mentioned here, don't give up the prayer duty and become a so-called yogi or transcendental artificially. Don't become artificial yogi or sannyasi or this and that. It is better to be situated in your own position and try to attain Krishna Bhakti consciousness under the superior training. Those who may be free from clutches of Maya, superior training. These all need a training. Doesn't need a spiritual master training us, guide us, teach us the duty, how to perform the duties. Simply without this and guidance, two guide by Guru, guide by Sastra. The two this Bhagavatam, Bhagavadas. Follow Bhagavatam, follow the Sastra, or follow the Guru. Guru who follow the Sastra, not by mental speculation. That's another problem. So-called gurus. So, in the same chapter 3 and 35, Krishna mentions again, it is far better to describe one's prescribed duty. See? Even though they may be faulty, then another duty. You cannot follow other person duty, other dharma, give up your own duty. Cannot. You have to perform your own duty, even the fault. You try to do your own duty, your own dharma. Then they become slowly free from the Maya. So you mentioned there, don't for another duty, distraction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging another's duty. For to follow another path is dangerous. Krishna mentions here, you follow your own duty, then don't imitate the other person, yogis. Don't give up your duty. Suddenly give up everything. Don't imitate. You can become yogi or Mahan, can by steps. Not imitate. Suddenly change. Immediately I become yogi. I become sannyasi. I become this and that. No. First do your duty, finish it, then you have to slowly come to there. There's a Bhagavad Dharma is mentioned there. Dharma you have to follow. Krishna himself says, do follow your duty. So, he explained there, one should therefore discharge his prescribed duty in full Krishna consciousness rather than those prescribed for others. Prescribed duty complement one's psychological condition under the spell of the mood of material nature. Spiritual duty are as ordered by the spiritual master. Material duty and spiritual duty. There are two things there. Material duty, the body dharma and atma dharma. There's a two only by body, what should to follow, and another is a path of a dharma for the soul. People don't know dharma by the body, material, duty by spiritual. But spiritual things you have to learn from the Guru. He is an expert person to explain, guide. They say, yeah, spiritual master are the Spiritual duty are ordered by the spiritual master for the transcendental service to Krishna. But both material and spiritual, one should stick to his prescribed duty even up to death, rather than imitate another prescribed duty. Duty on the spiritual platform and duty on a material platform may be different, but the principle of following the authorized direction is always good for the performer. When one is under the spell of the mood of material nature, one should follow the prescribed rules for particular situation and should not imitate other. For example, Brahmana is a mood of goodness, Satya mood of Rajas, see? Sutra mood of Tamas. So there's a own prescribed duty to follow. So that's why as long as one is a material form, he must perform his duty according to the mood of material nature. Whether a mood of nature, you have your own mood nature, whether it's Rajas, Tamas, Sattvic. You have to learn your own nature and your Varnasrama, your Varna in asrama. You have to know your Varna, you know what is your asrama. That's a duty for Varna, duty for the ashram. They call Varnasra Dharma. So this is the things. One is a material, one is a spiritual. Varna for the material, ashram for the spiritual. That's the two duties there. When you don't know what's the duty, your duty means what do you think? Eating, sleeping, mating, depending. Or take care of the family. Earning money, take a family, enjoying. That's the things we are going on. So that's why you mentioned here, you perform according to your mode of nature. At the same time, you must have full senses of Krishna consciousness. So, this is some guideline. We are given the guideline. So, you are very is a big things to explain. We cannot explain everything. So, Swadharma. So, mentioned here, Swadharma. So, chapter 2, text 31, in the purpose, Prabhupada explaining, there are two kind of Swadharma. Specific duty. As long as one is not liberate, we not liberate the person. We are bound by the karma, material nature. So one has to perform, whether we in the material mood of nature, the material we are in the body concept. So we should follow our duty. So one has to perform the duty of the particular body in accordance with the religious principle. Duty, religious means to explain who are you and what's your duty. That's a religious. If you the religious never teach you what is your position, what's your material duty and spiritual duty, don't know anything, simply worshipping God, simply faith, worshipping God, get some benefits. That's a 99% of a human, they worshipping God for some material benefits. They don't know how to perform our swadharma. Here mentioned, that's why I mentioned here. So duty performed bodily according to the religious principle in order to achieve liberation. Why? We need to liberate mukti. When one is liberate, one's swadharma, specific duty, become a spiritual. Become a spiritual duty as a liberate Swadharma, specific duty, become a spiritual as not in the material body concept. In the bodily conception of the life, there are specific duty for the Brahmana, Satriya, Vaishya, and Sutra. Swadharma is ordinated by Lord, and this will be clarified for the fourth chapter. Chapter 4 explain everything our Swadharma. So, in the Swadharma, there's under the Dharma Sastra, there's called Varnasra Dharma. The Varnasra Dharma or specific duty term in a specific mood of nature of the body obtain it. Discharge one's specific duty is in any field of action is accordance with the Varnasra save to elevate onto the higher stage of life. So that's the things going on. So there's many things we explain in them. They're very difficult. Explain everything. In the chapter five, text 10. One who perform his duty without attachment, but do duty that other guidelines. Without attachment, the result. Surrendering to the result to the Supreme God. Is not affected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by the water. The lotus leaf, even the water and a lotus leaf. Same thing that in the spiritual person, even the materially doing some material activity, material is like a water. Spiritual is a lotus leaf. Even inside in the water, we do perform the duty, but never attach, never touch, never entanglement, no karma. That's a important things to go. So this is not one or two the mentioned. Many things is mentioned here. So another example given, chapter 16, text 7. The two person, demonic and a divine. The two person, demonic and a divine person. Demonic always against the God. Divine person only follow the gods. So we have to understand whether I am demonic person or divine person. Who not following God's order, against God's order, is a demonic mentality. Demonic mentality. Who subordinate, discharge duty according God's will, God desire, is a divine person. So those who demonic do not know what to be done and what not be done. Demonic always against, but divine person know what to do, what cannot do. Neither cleanness nor proper behavior nor truth in found on them. Those who do not follow the scripture injunction, they mentioned here, do not follow scripture injunction are supposed to be demonic. Therefore, it is stated here that the demon do not know the scriptures rules and regulation, nor do they have any inclination to follow them. They don't want, they're against, always against the scripture. If you tell them, they're against. What should I follow? Who is he? Who is that? I won't follow according to my desires, my own. I don't follow any others. Nobody control me. There's a demonic mentality. So most of them do not know them, and even if some of they know, they have not the tendency to follow them. They know also don't follow like a Kamsa, Ravana, Hiranyakashipu. This and they all know. The scriptures know, they know God, but always against them. There's a problems. They know, we cannot say they don't. Someone know about this and that. Someone they know God's law. Someone know the country law, country constitution. But we have a tendency to against the country law. Small traffic light, red light, you mostly want to stop. If you know car, you follow. You don't stop there. Something like that. It is the tendency of the demonic. You don't follow the constitution or don't follow the rules and regulation. You won't know. So the tendency, they have no faith, nor they willing to act in the term of a Vedic injunction. The demon are not clean either externally or internally. So this is a big problem. The duty, the injunction. Anyone, chapter 18, types 8. Sorry. Anyone who give up the prescribed duty as a troublesome or out of the fear is said to be in the mood of passion. Such action never lead to elevation to renunciation. Sorry. Excuse me. Anyone who give up their prescribed duty as a troublesome or out of a fear is said to be in the mood of a passion. Such action never lead to elevation of a renunciation. Who not following, but who perform his prescribed duty only become in ought to be done and renounce all attachment to the fruits is renounced the mode of goodness, not following against mode of rajas, who following mode of goodness, don't anything ignorant mode of tamas. So these things explains Krishna in the Gita. The duty and rules and regulation, dharma, the man should perform. We don't follow. We don't wrote. So this is some example to man should follow the rules and regulation, swadharma, scriptures, liberate or bondage. Your end. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.